college football fans, we are halfway through with the first month of regular season. Week 3 of the regular season. 2 Big 12 teams actually enter Big 12 play. The rest have outer league play. Plus, we'll break down all the TV games coming up next, right here, Boomers in 1982. Don't go away! Welcome to this week's version, Week 3, by the way, of the College Football Picks Contest. My name's Harry James. We'll start in the Big 12, where at 11 a.m. on Saturday, because there are no Thursday games on the Big 12 slate, Saturday slate starts at 11 a.m. with 2 games in the Big 12. ABC will bring you my Sooners as they look for some revenge out in Ames for their only regular season loss last year. Game will be on ABC at 11 a.m. Also, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights will be at Kansas. Kansas looking for win number 2 at home in Lawrence on Fox Sports Net. This one I'm actually going to go with Rutgers. Kansas has only won 2 games in the last couple of years in D1 talent teams. Kansas and Central Michigan. So, that's just that. 2:30. Big 12 favorite, one of the Big 12 favorites, West Virginia, will be on the road on ESPNU at North Carolina State. I'm actually going to go West Virginia in this ballgame on ESPNU. Also, 2:30, regular ESPN will have the Boise State Broncos in Stillwater at Oklahoma State at 2:30 on ESPN. I'm actually going to go with Oklahoma State in this ballgame. The final Big 12 game at 2:30 will be Duke at Baylor. A little bit more of a basketball field than a football field, but it is what it is. I'm going to go with Baylor. That game will be on Fox Sports 1. 3 o'clock, there's a mid-game in there, a mid-time game in there, when the University of Texas San Antonio will be at Kansas State on Fox Sports Net. Kansas State looking for some smoothing over after getting conked in the head by Mississippi State, and I think they're going to get it over UTSA. 3:15 on National Fox. Houston will be at Texas Tech in this one. I'm going to go with Houston in this ball game. Ed Oliver is a massive, massive man on defense, and we just haven't seen Texas Tech play good, smart, tough defense yet. So you got to go with the defense. 2 o'clock, two night games in the Big 12 slate, including the Ohio State University and TCU at a neutral site at Dallas Cowboy Football Stadium. I'm actually going to go with TCU in this ballgame. Look for TCU to be ready for this ballgame. Gary Patterson might even have some tricks up his sleeves defensively. The other Big 12 game, Southern Cal at Texas. The final game on National Fox. I'm going to go with USC. I told y'all last week not to sleep on Tulsa. And let me tell you, Tulsa gave everything Texas wanted in this ball game. You could say Texas this, Texas that. Texas didn't care. They cared in the second half, giving up 21 unanswered points before Texas ends up winning that ball game. The national games... There are Thursday national games, including in the ACC, BC, that's Boston College, at Wake Forest on ESPN. I'm going to go with Wake Forest. The new Stadium Network for the last 2 or 3 years has been on TV. They'll have Tennessee Tech at Utah State. I'm going to go with the Aggies of Utah State. Friday Nighter, only one Friday Nighter in this one, Georgia State at Memphis on ESPN. I'm going to go with the Tigers of Memphis on that one. The Saturday slate, 11 a.m. for breakfast. You can watch a lot of games, including Kent State at Penn State on Fox Sports 1. I'm going to go with the Nittany Lions. ACC play, Florida State will be at Syracuse on ESPN. I'm going to go with the Qs in this one. Our buddy Josh Heupel in Central Florida, they'll be at North Carolina on ESPNU. I'm going to go with UNC. The ESPN2 game is Miami of Florida at Toledo. You got to go with the Canes in this one. Rhode Island and UConn, they're at the University of Connecticut. That game will be on ESPN3. I'm going to go with the University of Connecticut Huskies. Big Ten Network, Troy will be at Nebraska. Nebraska will be angry and ready to go after losing to Colorado this week. And Troy is going to wish they didn't come. So I'm going to take Nebraska in this one. Hawaii will be at Army on Fox Sports, on CBS Sports. I'm sorry, CBS Sports, that is. I'm going to take the Army Knights, the Golden Knights. They'll be in Norman next week, so look for that one. Back to the Big Ten Network, you'll have Ball State at Indiana. I'm going to go with the Hoosiers of Indiana. Also on the Big Ten Network, Temple at Maryland. I'm going to go with Maryland. And 2 SEC Network games. Murray State will be at our old buddy Mark Stoops in Kentucky on the SEC Network. I'm going to go with UK. They got a big boy win over Florida. Big time win over Florida. First time in years. And Murray State's going to be the next opponent. They should win that one. If you don't want to watch that one, you can watch this one on the SEC Network. Texas El Paso will be at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. I'm going to go with the boys of Knoxville, Tennessee on the SEC Network. 11:20 a.m., the odd times, includes an ACC Network game between East Carolina, and they will be at Virginia Tech. I'm going to go hokey high on this one. ACC Network at 11:30 will be between 2 ACC powers, Georgia Tech at Pittsburgh. I'm going to go with Pittsburgh on this one, on the ACC Network. 12 o'clock, Tulane will be at Alabama Birmingham on the new Stadium Network. On the Stadium Network, I'm going to go with Birmingham. 1 o'clock, University of Cal Davis, UCD, will be at Stanford on the Pac-12 Network. I'm going to go with Stanford. 1:30, another awkward time, but hey, it's Notre Dame. They can do what they want to do, right? It's Vandy at Notre Dame, that is, on NBC. I'm going to go with the Irish. 2 o'clock, the University of Ohio will be at Virginia. This one will be on the ACC Network. And I'm going to go with Virginia. The 2:30 slates includes an ESPN2 game between Georgia Southern. They'll be at Clemson. On ESPN2, I'm going to go with Clemson. After our game between Oklahoma and Iowa State, you can stay there and watch Brigham Young at Minnesota on ABC. I'm going to go with the Badgers, but look for BYU to make this a fun ball game at 2:30. 2:30 also LSU and Auburn on CBS Sports. I'm going to go with the Tigers of Auburn in this one. Big Ten Network, Southern Methodist will be at Michigan, the Big House. I'm going to go with Michigan. Southern Mississippi will be at App State on the new ESPN Plus network. I'm going to go with Appalachian State. Miami of Ohio will be at Minnesota on the Big Ten Network. I'm going to go with Minnesota and the Golden Gophers. And Lehigh will be at the Naval Academy on CBS Sports Network. I'm going to go with the Naval Academy. Final 2:30 games will be Central Michigan. They'll try to get back on track on the road at Northern Illinois, UNI on ESPN Plus. I'm going to go with Northern Illinois. Finally, on the Big Ten Network, you'll see South Florida at Illinois on the Big Ten Network. I'm actually going to go with South Florida in this ball game. Indiana's getting better, but South Florida's on a hot streak right now. Look for that to continue. 3 o'clock, Colorado State will be at Florida. They just beat Arkansas, and now they're going to go try to defeat another team on the road this time at Florida. They're not going to be able to get this thing done. I'm going to take Florida. Speaking of Arkansas, they're going to try to get back on track on the SEC Network. Yep, as North Texas, our old buddy Seth Luttrell, North Texas, will be at Arkansas. I'm going to go with the Razorbacks in this one. ESPN3 also has one game. Eastern Kentucky will be at Bowling Green on ESPN3.com. I'm going to go with Bowling Green. 4 o'clock, 2 Pac-12 games on this slot, including San Jose State. They will be at Oregon on the Pac-12 network. I'm going to go with the Oregon Ducks. And New Hampshire will be at recently Nebraska-Colorado champion Colorado. They're at home on the Pac-12 network against New Hampshire. I'm going to take Colorado. 5 o'clock games. Now, another Pac-12 game at this one. Idaho State at Cal Berkeley, Pac-12 network. I'm going to go with Berkeley. Also, North Fork State will be at Liberty on ESPN3.com. I'm going to go with Liberty. Old Dominion will be at Charlotte. That one also on ESPN3. I'm going to go with Charlotte. Stadium Network, the new Stadium Network, will be the Bethune-Cookman at Oral Buddy. Lane Kiffin in Florida Atlantic. I'll take FAU. And ESPN Plus will have Eastern Michigan at Buffalo. I'm going to go with Buffalo in the final 5 o'clock game. There's a couple 6 o'clock games. The 6 o'clock games include Alabama. They will be out on the road at Ole Miss on ESPN. I'm going to go with Alabama. Campbell University will be at Coastal Carolina on the ESPN3 network. I'm going to go with Coastal Carolina. Texas State will be at South Alabama on the new ESPN Plus. I'm going to go with South Alabama. Arkansas State at Tulsa, CBS Sports Network. Tulsa just gave Texas all they wanted. Texas just had a little bit more. But you know what? This one's at home. It's at Tulsa. And Tulsa's going to take some anger out on Arkansas State. Look for that one to happen. I'll take Tulsa. Alabama A&M will be on the road at Cincinnati on ESPN3. I'm going to go with Natty. Delaware State at Western Michigan on ESPN Plus. I'm going to go with Western Michigan. And finally, Oregon State at Nevada on ESPN3.com, the final 6 o'clock game. I'm going to take Nevada. There is one 6:15 game in the middle. It's an SEC game on ESPN2, as Middle Tennessee will be at Georgia, Rose Bowl champion Georgia. I'm going to take the Bulldogs, Georgia. 6:30, Louisiana will be at Mississippi State. I'm going to take Mississippi State on the SEC network. You cannot denounce what they just did to Kansas State. Louisiana Monroe will be at Texas A&M. That's the other SEC game on the SEC network. I'm going to go with the Aggies. The Big Ten network has Purdue at Missouri at Purdue. I'm going to take Purdue. ESPNU has Marshall at South Carolina on ESPNU. I'm going to go with the Gamecocks of South Carolina. Big Ten network, Northern Iowa at Iowa. I'm going to take regular Iowa in this one. They just beat Iowa State, so look for that one to be pretty entertaining. Western Kentucky at Louisville on the ACC network. I'm going to go with Louisville. The BEN Sports Network, the new BN Sports Network, they will have University of Massachusetts at Florida International, FIU. I'm going to take Massachusetts. Final Big Ten game at the 6:30 slot. Akron will be at Northwestern. That's the Big Ten team in Northwestern. And I'm going to take the Big Ten team in Northwestern. 7 o'clock, Western Washington will be at Washington State on the Pac-12 network. I'm going to go with our old buddy Mike Leach and Washington State. 9 o'clock, regular Washington will be at Utah on ESPN. I'm going to go with the Huskies. 9:30, 2 of them, Fox Sports 1 will have Fresno State at UCLA. I have a feeling that UCLA is going to figure something out, starting off 0-2, but don't look for them to stay 0-2 for very long with Chip Kelly. In fact, Chip just lost his first time he lost 2 consecutive games. And by the way, Cincinnati and Oklahoma, the Oklahoma game, Oklahoma, not too bad. Cincinnati, Finally, Arizona State at San Diego State on CBS Sports Network, also 9:30. I'm going to go with the Sun Devils of Arizona State. 10 o'clock game, the final game. Southern Utah will be at Arizona, Pac-12 network. I'm going to take the Wildcats of Arizona. All right, guys, thanks for watching. My name's Harry James. Now, don't take these picks to Vegas, but if you do, I'll take some of the money. If you want to catch this and all my previews and reviews of college football for my Sooners. It's not that hard. It's on YouTube, Harry James Taylor. Also on Facebook, Harry James Taylor. Or on my Twitter handle, @HypeManHarry. Alright guys, thanks for watching and enjoy this week 3, of college football. See you later guys. I'm out of here.